everybody, welcome back. So this week I thought I could show you my everyday makeup look. It's a simple wearable makeup look that doesn't take too long and is one of my staple go-to looks. So let's jump straight into it. And I'm not going to prime my face today just because I've just filmed my skincare routine and my dermaplaning. And I will link that video up in the corner. So I've got a pretty good base at the moment, but by all means, use a primer, use a good moisturizer before you do this. This will make your makeup go on much smoother, much nicer, and also last longer. Now for foundation, I'm going to use the Maybelline Dream Satin Liquid in shade Natural Beige. Now this is quite a bit too dark for me at the moment because I've been staying out of the sun and I have no fake tan on. But I've not been out of the house in a while because I twisted my ankle a few weeks ago and I like to buy foundation in person. So I'm just going to stick with this and try blend it out as best as I can. So I'm just taking a stippling brush from Real Techniques and I'm going to use that to apply my foundation. Now I actually drag my foundation onto my ears a little bit and down onto my neck. I did order the foundation brush by Real Techniques, but it hasn't arrived yet. So we're sticking with the stippling brush for today. As you can see, completely the wrong shade. But we're going to go with it. Now for concealer, I'm going to use Conceal and Define by Revolution in shade 0.5. Now this is a full coverage concealer. And it can be quite drying, I've found, on my skin. So I'm not going to put on as much as I would normally. So I just take this on the sides of my nose, underneath my eyes, in kind of a triangle shape, and put some on my chin as well, down the center of my nose and in the middle of my forehead. I feel like a really light concealer can really balance out your foundation if it's too dark. Now to set my concealer and foundation, I'm going to use a banana setting powder by May. It doesn't smell like bananas, but it smells really good anyway. And I take a little bit of this and just press it underneath my eyes as soon as I've done my concealer, before it starts to crease. And I just pop some on wherever I've put concealer. And then I use the brush just to buff it out over the rest of my face, using a powder brush by Real Techniques. I really like this powder actually. It does a really good job of sort of airbrushing your makeup and it doesn't go everywhere. Some powders that I've tried honestly look like I'm running something illegal because they just end up absolutely everywhere. So carrying on with the face, I'm going to use a bronzing powder by Bobbi Brown in the shade Golden Light. Now this brush is nothing special. It's just an angled brush from a cheap set I got from eBay. I really need to invest in some better brushes. I'm using it to contour slightly as well as bronze. So just placing it in a line underneath my cheekbone and then using the same brush just to blend it up and out. So annoying. So I know it's a cheap brush, but if you just have patience and take your time and blend as much as you can, you still get quite a good result. So taking some more of the Bobbi Brown bronzer, I'm going to put that on my hairline. And if you wanted to, you could put some underneath your jaw as well, just to define it. But I think I'm going to skip that step today, just because I'm wearing quite a high neck top and I don't want any brown streaks on it. So for blush, I'm going to be using the Face Form Contouring and Blush Palette by Sleek Makeup. I love this blusher. It's such a pretty colour and it's got flecks of gold in it as well, which look really nice in the daytime. So I'm just going to pop that on the apples of my cheeks with another cheap AF brush. I'm also going to use the highlighter out of this palette. It's quite a nice subtle one for the daytime. Pop a little bit on my nose and on my Cupid's bow. This is actually quite a good brush for highlighter. It's a concealer brush by Superdrug Beauty. I like it for highlighter because it's quite fluffy, but it's still quite small, so you can really get it in the areas that you want to get it on. I'm going to use one of my favourite brow products, which is Unibrow by Winky Lux. This is a universal brow pencil, so it just, I believe, comes in one colour. And it's just so handy to have in your makeup bag, especially for like a daytime look, where you might not necessarily have time to spend absolutely ages on your brows. It's got like a twistable pencil in one end and a spoolie in the other. So I just like to brush my brows up and out, and wherever I see skin underneath, especially on the outer half of my eyebrow, I like to fill that in, just to make them appear neater and fuller. Now to set them in place, I'm going to use Gimme Brow by Benefit. And this is such a good brow gel for keeping your brows in place, but not making them crispy, if that makes sense. I feel like some brow gels can do that. Now for my eyes, I'm not going to do anything too complicated. I'm going to use my NYX Ultimate Shadow Palette, and I think it's nice when you just have one eyeshadow shade on during the day, nothing too complicated. You can just use a bronzer just to add some colour onto your eyelid, or even just a neutral shade. I'm going to use a sparkly gold. I'm just going to pop that all over the lid and then blend it out. Now I love how classy one shade of shadow looks with a good liquid liner, but now if you're like me and you struggle with liquid liner, you need this in your life. This is like the holy grail of eyeliner pens. Now this is the Stamp and Drag by Ciate London. The reason this is so good, one side is a wing stamp and the other side is like a really chunky marker tip basically. Now I've seen a lot of people in adverts using it where they just press it onto the skin and lift it away and you have a perfect wing. That never seems to work for me, so the way I do it is I place it onto the skin and then drag it inwards. That way it just seems to work better for me. I'm going to figure out how angled I want my wing first before I place it, and then where I want it as well. I don't think I can talk while I do this, so you're going to have to bear with me. Now before I go in and do the rest of my eyeliner, I go onto my other eye and do that wing first. I use the really sharp end to tidy up the ends of the wings if they need it. Little tip here is if it's starting to dry out, just place a little bit on your hand and then dip the end into that. And then I go in and fill in the rest of my liner. Now one more tip for your eyeliner if you struggle with one eye more than the other. Do the eye first and then you can always work on your good side to match up with your bad eye. Now I'm just going to quickly go in and curl my lashes. And for mascara I'm going to be using They're Real by Benefit. Now a little tip for your bottom lip is to actually place some bronzer underneath where the shadow hits. That creates the illusion of a larger shadow and a bigger bottom lip. Now for lips, I'm going to be taking a New Look lip liner in the shade Mocha, and I'm going to use the M&Co Beauty lipstick in shade Flawless. This is like the best smelling lipstick I own. If you love peaches, we are done. So that brings us to the end of another video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments. Also, let me know if you want to see more makeup looks for different occasions. I think I feel like doing a glam look next, like completely over the top. Subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you next time.